We're gonna practice. Okay, with 30 seconds. Timer here, and then these will toggle, the scopers will show up, just flip them off real quick. Competitive match. So we are live. Yes, because we're gonna feed it from OBS. So all of this video. So all of this video is coming from OBS. And then all you do to change the score on here. One more setting. So the big thing for this, for 11, specifically 11, is that you mark it, like do the counter for the goals. When it happens, it's a fucking nightmare. Trust me, I know. Yeah. You have got about 10 minutes, so you need to be up at the cameras. I would suggest.
You think we should go eat now?
Yep. I would shove food into your mouth hole as quickly as possible. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Okay, make sure I can't hear myself. Okay, there was something else I was gonna do. Here.
Unless you did it.
She's probably down on the field, is my guess. I see John Nagel there, but not Bridget. Bridget must have the secret sauce. Stand here. Go ahead and turn around. Face the phone. I turned the phone. I'm trying something. We got too big of a height difference. It's not gonna work. No. I don't got a box for you to stand on. So yeah. No. Yeah, we probably will. But that's how we did it last time. I'm pretty sure it was both sitting down. We just need to clear this off. So all this stuff needs to go away somewhere. On any of the chairs or tucked underneath is fine. And close the windows.
Is that what you fans up window?
Yeah, we had it clipped to it last year. Actually, for the idea. Oh. Go ahead and scoot back. Keep going, all the way to the left.
Okay, fellas out there already? They get sunscreen?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go
I
put
told
your
them.
cameras on.
I told them to go eat food now because.
I'll turn camera 1 and 2 on though.
Yeah, that works. Either here or behind the monitor. Hammer FC, guys. Go ahead and scoot back, Ken, again.
Okay, Jake.
That's the same shot we had last year, so.
That's right.
I think you probably want to. Yeah, you can sit there. We'll just have to keep quiet.
Or if you just see now, if you want to go down early,
Either that or
and then kind of work.
not a lot of room.
You could put a piece of tape on it and see.
I would say sit there.
I think it's up there.
By the way, we are live. Mics are down, but we
Okay.
are live.
You are seeing one of their cameras, sir. You're seeing camera 1 map here?
Bill,
Yes, sir.
I want to move this bag.
Okay.
I want to clear our backdrop out of the way.
Make sure Jake knows where it is.
Jake needs this bag. Is this chair empty right here? Put it there. Put her there, pal.
Because he's got like his extra battery, his charger should still reach.
Yeah.
Charger that. I think if you say it's not going to rain, I'm going to put a camera on AC power.
I think we're gonna be good.
And that's the last tweak I'm going to do. Your camera's going to go on AC. But it'll still have battery. Your camera's turned. So you can go up there.
All right.
Yeah, go up there
And we'll have,
probably put your headsets on. At least one of you. You know, if one of you says, hey, I got my headset on.
Bill, how many cameras are you running off of Camlink into here? You gonna do all three?
Three.
Okay.
So when we go to the game, we can either lose the phone.
Yeah, I probably need to lose. Well, I would say wait to turn one on because
I can have
you.
4, but I can have 10 but 3 live, right? Or 4 live.
I think you can. I think there's only 4 slots, and I want one of those slots to be the one graphic, or we could just the video, but we could just run the graphic of it.
Right.
Well, if that's
When we
easier.
get to game time, we'll leave the phone on.
Yes. Yeah, it just needs the video, the
I just have to
lineup.
make sure I take the audio.
Yeah, the lineup video needs to be dragged in the studio still.
I'll be right back.
I wanted to save a slot for it, and we need to have go time here shortly. That's hi. Didn't realize you weren't aware. It's us. So
just babbling?
So what's gonna happen is we're gonna dump out of halftime as quickly as possible.
Okay.
We are doing a halftime highlights show sponsored by ProFed.
Okay.
So what's gonna happen is we're gonna dump out. We're gonna not be sending audio. I'm gonna go over, edit halftime highlights real quick.
Okay.
Bring it over here. As soon as we're done with that, or 5 minutes before the second half, whichever one is sooner, we'll then come back to live.
Sponsored by ProFed.
Sponsored by ProFed.
So no dancing chairs this year.
No dancing chairs. The dogs are adorable, but none of the dogs. No Chicago Sting shirts. None of that.
I couldn't even get one of those. They got me 11,000 steps in 3 hours. It should be worth something.
Exactly.
This doesn't bode well. This is the Humboldt Road.
I mean, it is more fans than most other teams in our league had last year at their home matches, but.
A little bit more, but there's nothing going on at all. See why the crowd didn't want to be here now. Just throw him out.
There's that case of water is ours.
Oh, there is?
Yep.
Let me make sure.
You get some first in here. So then you're putting some pressure on yourself then. And
This-
the highlights.
the
You got like 3 minutes to,
Yeah, I've got.
or will he have them already queued? Does he,
I've got
would it be like anything in the replay?
Flash drive to flash drive. So, because we're recording on OBS and not here this year, so basically I'm relying on Hannah to say at this minute there was a shot, at this minute there was a goal, at this minute, I don't know if you're marking saves or not, but
I have saves, I just don't have minute times.
okay, yeah.
I can try to get that for you.
But yeah, the halftime highlights thing, Lori says that it doesn't need to be video, it could just be us talking, so if we don't get the video,
You've got a run of
but
what minutes?
we have to do halftime recap because ProFed gave us a lot of money.
Yep.
So that was the question that I asked her.
How many times
when
do
she
we
lo-
how many times do we have to say ProFed?
Just the once.
Thanks again. ProFed?
Yeah.
Did you get your elevator yet?
No.
Great goal by ProFed.
They didn't
Yeah.
show me.
Great goal.
No,
Sponsored
they
by
didn't either.
ProFed.
How are you?
It's like when you watch it on
I'm well. You?
NBC. and it's
It's been a
like,
little bit of a stressful
Nah.
weekend,
Yeah.
but it's all right.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got to
I need to
Anderson,
stand
and my son's like,
There is
"Where's
one-
my bear?"
There is one more video we need to run.
So
You're not gonna sleep
needs to
without
run.
your
Yeah, so we
Beginning.
back around, and hard to get home just past 10, which is late
This
but
one.
manageable.
Okay, so when do you need me to put it?
And 53, we got the driveway. All that for a show that's sort of 5.
And then screen captures we were about for what we're having.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
About halfway home.
you just press play,
Yeah.
it plays once, and then it's done.
Turn it around.
Back to the screen
Yeah,
capture,
turn it
so I
around.
can press it.
I can't. So I will not tell you, but it'll be a few minutes before kickoff. Like,
So like minute 30.
yeah, use your best judgment
Okay.
because as soon as it cues on the screen, I'll know and I'll read it
Okay.
because I know what it's supposed to say.
Okay.
How you doing?
Before I do walkouts. Looks like they're doing walkouts now though.
Yeah, that's fine. They can do walkouts. We need to have our cameras ready here in a sec.
Okay, so once they do walkouts, I'll probably play it then. As soon as they're done.
No.
No? Okay.
Much closer to the match.
Okay.
We do need to have our guys ready in position. You're doing post-match interviews a little different this year. We're doing them a little bit more press conference style. All right. So I'll have Coach Avery in front of the mic stand, up against the backdrop, but it's going to be on the back side of the stadium here.
Okay, that'd be good for a little bit less noise too.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So we're gonna have him on the back side of the stadium. He has 10 minutes cool down period after the match, and then we'll bring him on.
Okay, perfect.
And we are not, Ken, just so you know, we're not streaming the interviews. We're just recording them for ourselves.
Here. You gotta stick with them, I think, just to make sure they don't kill each other.
Yeah, that's always a possibility, isn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah, Sharpie in here.
Joey's my new best friend.
You have a Sharpie in here, Bill?
I need a little bit. Hey, I'm just talking out loud.
All right, I said Josh.
For myself. And I need to put my shirt on.
Oh, real quick,
Way too
I
hot.
wanted to see.
There are waters up here. See Caleb. Jake's gonna go down to the field level. He's gonna be on the track
Okay,
for the tunnel.
that's fine.
Once the game gets going, he's gonna come up to the bleacher area.
Yeah, perfect.
Because I just felt like it's safe down there, no balls are flying around yet. All right. Oh, and Jake's standing here, so head on down when you're ready, Jake. It's time, buddy. All right.
Oh, I don't have the time anymore.
So we have the pregame on.
Estimated to start this.
Caleb, go ahead and give us a heads up when mics are live.
So, yes, I will. How?
Jake's mic is on. He's gonna set it under that blue table or somewhere there pointed at the field.
Okay. How comparable is the starting lineup from last time to this time? That was the one thing I didn't.
For us?
For us. How many changes? See this?
Hello, this is
I have
hello.
a
This
pen
is
in my
Will
bag.
Sharp. Can you hear
Forster's
me?
getting the
Mic.
start.
All right. So
Give me just a sec.
camera 1 is Will. Camera 2 is Corwin. Camera 3 is Jake. And I didn't write that on a piece of paper, so I know I'm gonna mess it up, but you guys look. A second, and
Makalinen,
I was gonna get a piece of paper.
Abramson.
Or just mine.
Adodonku,
Yeah, and just no, it's
Jallo.
the first game of the year.
Jallo's
Right?
out.
They're on the air, which is good. You don't have to clean up or strike or anything, but yours is an easy one. We'll need that camera up here fairly quick after the game for the post-game interview, Jake.
Alright.
Basically
10
means we put the
of
other
11
battery
same
on the charger,
starters.
like we rotated.
I didn't realize
That's
that was
about
in there.
I'm gonna see if I can see
Oh,
preview.
yeah, but we've got,
So
the
we've got
10 of the 11 are the same starters
Camera
as last
1
time.
is Corwin.
The only
Yep,
swap
camera
is
1
that
is
Will.
Will.
Forster
And I like
Jallo
to
is
call him
playing
Will.
instead
I am
of
just because I'm also.
Usman
Camera 2
Jallo.
is Corwin from Springfield, Illinois. Springfield? 3 is Jake Jersey, New Jersey
Okay.
Jake. All right, and we also have a phone camera, which I will probably just call we're on phone or something.
Bill, how do we look?
I see you two guys. Oopsie, hang on.
Are we pretty good?
I'm troubling. Hang on a second.
No.
Getting the glasses and then these on. Not working. All right.
You look pretty well framed
I am
up.
back, so I see the graphics. Live stream.
I need to go
I am
this
not
way.
seeing
We both need to go this way a little bit.
Corwin's camera. So Corwin is on.
Wrong way, I guess. Wrong way.
Okay. Can you check the are the two cables going into the camera link connected? Okay. Let me, I'm gonna see what I have in my bag here. That is the one with one cable or a bunch? So,
Here, no, send Hannah. We need to go. Give one of those to Corwin. Hannah, one more.
this one probably won't work. But it's too See if one of those will work going from the camera into the HDMI, not into USB-C. If it's running into the USB, plug in to the camera side where the HDMI is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to get up.
Camera one, we're on camera one, or we want to go to.
Hello and welcome to the 2022 home opener for Fort Wayne FC. I'm your play-by-play announcer, Caleb Taylor. Joining me once again for the second season in a row, Ken Harkenreiter. Ken, how are you?
Fabulous. Looking forward to this today, and lots of excitement out here in the air.
Yeah, it's a nice crowd to see for the home opener. Not as big as the inaugural season, but still a very good showing here for the fans here at Shield Field Stadium.
The key will be for everyone to capture all the positive momentum that we had from last year's inaugural season, moving it forward. So they got that first win notched up already earlier this week, so hopefully more of the same today.
So let's go ahead and look at the starting lineup for Fort Wayne FC. In comparison to the King's Hammer match on Tuesday, Fort Wayne FC won 1-0. 10 out of 11 players exactly the same. The only change I have of note here on my page, Forrester Ajago is out. He was the goal scorer actually for Fort Wayne FC. He's in for Usman Jallo. So I'm curious what's making Mike Avery pick the same players 2 games in a row, which really we didn't even see that last year.
Not sure exactly what he saw all week at training, but excited by this roster lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was something that Coach Avery noted in the preseason interview that I did, is that a lot of that decision-making last year was on him. Players COVID issues, trouble getting players, he just kind of had to scrape and scrap with the talent that he had, and there was a lot of talent on the team, but figure out which player is going to fit when, because you might have a player who's got a wedding or a family emergency or what have you.
As well, so guys were out for a game here or there, but yeah,
Got it. Yeah, certainly so. So this match today sponsored by ProFed Credit Union, Fort Wayne Newspapers, and Baden Gage and Schroeder CPA and Business Consultants. Yeah, it's good to see, we've got a lot more banners hanging down there on the sidelines than we did last year, that's for sure. blue kits this year, looking sharp. King's Hammer going left to right in the gray kits. I'm excited to see this matchup.
Wait, okay, I'm recording now.
Here today. Like I mentioned, only a 1-0 win for Fort Wayne FC on Tuesday. Pretty tight affair, even so, in terms of statistics, but today's a different day. The winning team from Tuesday's got home field advantage, so we'll see how that plays out. I don't have the King's Hammer roster in front of me. See one. I forgot to print it out. Hey, there it is. My partner Ken Hargenreiter got it for me, but it doesn't matter. Fort Wayne FC's on the ball here. Here's Forster Ajago. Drops it back to Kenyane. Will Harris over to Reed Scroat. Reed Scroat captaining the side today. Yeah, there certainly weren't many of them. Go on the ball. Ref says nothing doing there against Molonco, but Fort Wayne retains possession, trying to work it across the midfield. King's Hammer able to clear it away. Harris with an errant touch. Sproat providing good cover throughout the first corner kick of the match for King's Hammer. Gumbale for King's Hammer did well to pounce on that errant touch from Harris there for King's Hammer. Delivered in. King's Hammer does well to get on the end of it, but nothing coming. Yago clears it out for a free kick. Sauce able to poke the ball away. It says no foul against Ajago there. So felt like there was a little arm extension there from the big center back from King's Hammer. Throwing for Fort Wayne FC. One of the changes noted for King's Hammer as well, a different goalkeeper in today. Smith making the start for King's Hammer today, which I believe it was Daniel Birmingham last match for King's Hammer. He put in quite the performance, marking 6 saves, but against Fort Wayne FC, I believe that was McAleenan that went in the tackle. Free kick here. Put it into the backside. Center back. It's a free kick for Fort Wayne. And you mentioned that first 5 minutes here, Fort Wayne. That was a good ball from Emawako. The Kings Hammer able to get it away, at least from danger immediately. Yeah, as I was saying, Ken, you mentioned that Fort Wayne FC struggling to get settled in the defense in the first 5 minutes or so of this match. That was a big problem for them last year. It felt like over and again, over and again, the defense had issues.
Yeah, and again, it might be some of that's related to what we said earlier, which is just having different folks in and out of the lineup, and not real certain what the man next to you is going to do because you haven't played enough with him. But again, hopefully, they haven't paid the ultimate price here yet today, and hopefully another clean sheet, just like Tuesday, they can keep him out of the back of the net.
Two cameras. Switches. We're on camera 2 now.
Free kick for Kings Hammer here. Ball falls. So Michael had a Donkun who plays it over the top for a Jago. The goalkeeper for Kings Hammer, Chad Smith, able to collect.
Already a couple
ball.
of times here in the first several minutes, Jago really putting the pressure on their backs and hasn't been able to collect it into his feet just yet, but certainly not far off. So hopefully some excitement yet to come on that front.
We've got a player down for Kings Hammer down there. That's number 22,
Louis Bolger.
Louis Bolger. I didn't quite see what happened there.
I didn't as well. That was a little bit after the play.
I mean, he's up pretty quickly, so hopefully not too bad. Free kicks away. Play the switch across the field. Kings Hammer looks like they're trying to play through the center, but you count the guys in the middle there. Looks like in the attack, Fort Wayne FC is playing a 4-3-3, but on defense playing a 4-5-1. So you got a lot of guys packed in the midfield there to try to work it around.
Well, and Fort Wayne has indeed been able to settle in a little bit better here, and the center of play, so to speak, is considerably further upfield away from the Fort Wayne FC goal area. So it's a good sign.
Ball over the top, trying to find, I believe that's Kenyane. The ball goes out for a throw in here for Kings Hammer. The pressure's on immediately. Referee calls a handball against Kings Hammer, and he did have his arm raised a little bit there, but I feel like that was maybe a little bit instinctual, but maybe that's the goalkeeper in me saying it's a little bit instinctual to use your hands. So a free kick for Fort Wayne FC here in the 11th minute, Tom Abramson standing over the ball. One of the new players this year. I believe he played for Toledo last year.
Really loading up on that backside, so let's see if they can drive it across the goal mouth here and
Got all the big
make
guys
something
up.
happen.
That's a
Boy,
good
that's
ball.
a nice in-swinger. Yes, indeed.
King's Hammer just a little bit taller in the back, able to get to it.
Not out of trouble yet, and see if we can get another.
Good move from Ndonku.
Nice. Oh, good
And a
save.
Good ball delivered in. Chad Smith with the save. Fort Wayne FC wins
Some
the ball
good numbers
back.
up here for Fort Wayne. Oh, good poke tackle there to get out of trouble.
Here's Victor Claudel on the ball, trying to retain possession. McAleenan gives the ball away. King's Hammer trying to get on the break here. Wisely slowing down, waiting for teammates to catch up there.
Well, and Fort Wayne did a great job in recovery there. They had 7 men back behind the ball pretty quickly there, so kind of forced King's Hammer to slow it down and bring it back out and around. So that's, again, a good sign for the back line today.
And from my memory, we've got a lot of Division I players on this team this year, and that was something of note from Coach Mike Avery in our preseason interview, that the quality of player from NAIA D3, D2, all the way up to D1, not much of a difference, but the athleticism is something that he noted, and that's something that perhaps Pep Casas needed to work on this year. He moved up from Indiana Tech, which is NAIA level, local university here in town, to a college out in North Carolina, and that's a D1 program. And so playing in a D1 program, I mean, you have to have some skill and athleticism. Ball in, King's Hammer, and it's loose.
Nice
Cleared away by
off the
McAleenan.
line.
That was a good header by King's Hammer. I think the statistic that I saw for, I believe it's Arte, number 3, the defender who headed that ball goalward, 6'7". He is a large presence out there for King's Hammer. Probably one of the tallest people all season. Oh, our goalkeeper is down, Joe Bowles.
Yeah, I think he got clipped a little bit on that last flurry in front of the goal.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he got a knee, maybe in the backside there.
Joe's a pretty big guy himself, so hopefully this is nothing serious.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that's a player that the club was excited to have back this year. They wanted to keep him last year, but for one reason or another, he had to leave mid-season. I know they're happy to have him back, but this would be an unceremonious home opener for Joe Bowles if 14 minutes into the match he goes down and has to come out. And the goalkeeper, Ryan Burig, backup goalkeeper for today's match, he's on the sideline warming up right now.
Oh, he's up and moving around. That's a good sign.
Yes.
Yeah, Joe had quite a few great opportunities after having made the stop here in Fort Wayne last summer. I know he had some time training over in England and different places, so has high aspirations for himself moving forward.
And that was one of the players DeMarcus Beasley noted from the beginning of the season, Joe Bowles. Beginning of last season, I should say. Joe Bowles, he was one of the top players.
Part of a national champion down at Grace College.
And he's made several stops along the way. And I believe next year, or perhaps he played this year, I can't quite remember, is playing for a higher division university, Chicago State. So we've got a throw in for Fort Wayne FC here in the 15th minute.
Well, you know, Caleb, you talk about the difference in the national divisions for collegiate ball here in the United States. We really have a nice international flair here this year in Fort Wayne as well. Lots of guys with some overseas playing experience. And we'll talk more throughout the season about some of the individual players. But you know, Sweden and Japan and Canada and Germany, France. So lots and lots of international flair, which, you know, Pep Cassis from Spain. So you get all those different influences. And I know Coach Avery is really excited to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and not just from even a player aspect, from a person, you know, from a personality aspect. He mentioned building a team. You know, you don't want a team, a group that looks all the same, sounds all the same, grew up all the same. You want something that looks like society, which that was something I know he said in our preseason interview they were looking for on that national scouting tour that him and DeMarcus did preseason, is looking for all types of players. So ball in here for Fort Wayne FC. Amoako, that second touch, just a bit much, and Kings Hammer players complaining that the goalkeeper was kicked by Amoako as he tried to clear him. Amoako's down still. Probably landed a bit hard on the turf there as he went over Smith.
I think still a ball very much in play. I don't think there was any malicious intent there.
No.
Always a tricky situation, you know, on those balls that are running those 50-50 toward the goal. Everybody's going full steam, and again, I didn't see any ill intent there.
No, not at all.
Good to see him back up and around, though. Well, and back to your point about DeMarcus and Mike Avery with that national and international flair of I know part of the spiel, if you will, as he was trying to attract players to come to Fort Wayne was that very thing of you know what, we're going to create something that's going to be a lot of fun for you to be a part of. So you know, bringing guys from lots of different backgrounds and giving them an opportunity. Again, DeMarcus has made a real stress and emphasis on how this team and this club is going to have an impact on the local community. So that's the expectation from the get-go from these guys, but it's also, hey, come in and be a part of something that you're not going to get anywhere else. And I know to some degree of frequency, Mike has alluded to that several of these guys played for other clubs last year, came here and played and said, man, I want to be a part of what you got going on in Fort Wayne there.
Yeah, and to your point, even helping the community, today's event, although viewers at home can't necessarily see it, today's match is benefiting Humane Fort Wayne, the one of the local animal shelters here. So that was a point from the beginning, like you mentioned, Ken, is not only helping the team, helping the community.
And I know DeMarcus has been very, very strong in support of the Boys and Girls Club here locally with Joe Jordan and doing some things, reaching out with the players, being a part of that organization. But he went on record at the preseason meet and greet, open door. If you're aware of an organization that is looking for some support and some help, let him know. And more than willing to try and put something together. And obviously he has his own short list to start with, but anxious to broaden that and cross over some lines that perhaps aren't always immediately connected with the soccer community here in Fort Wayne.
So we've got a free kick here for Kings Hammer. Number 18, Marcelo Jones standing over it. It's in a pretty dangerous position, especially
with a 6'7".
With a squad with a lot of tall men on the team. Yeah, this is a dangerous position. Ball delivered in, kind of lofted in there, aiming for Arte again, but the ball just a little bit over him, and Fort Wayne able to get it away. I believe that's Edonkun on the ball now for Fort Wayne, able to wriggle from the defenders.
Played it strong there.
kept his momentum going. He easily could have gone down, but now Fort Wayne's in a good attack, although defenders have now recovered nicely.
Here's Casas. McAleenan. Here's Sprout. And Moako does well to use his body to shield off the defender. Back to Edadonkun. And over to Abramson. Claudel trying to get the ball to the feet of Jago, but King's Hammer defender able to step in there. They're not out of danger yet. Fort Wayne FC pressing high right now. The ball goes out for a throw-in for King's Hammer. Harris able to pick off the long ball, but King's Hammer's on the attack. Here's Gumbale. Plays the ball through. Will Harris able to hoof it up field, trying to find a Jago. Arte, just an errant pass, kicks it out of bounds. The referee is blowing for a water break, which is curious because I think the temperature is only 81 degrees out today. But as we've noted before, turf is very hot, sometimes 15 to 20 degrees hotter. So if it's 80 in the air, for example, could be 95, 100 down there on the field. So here in a bit of a water break. Our social media man, Joey, tells me it's only 29 out right now, which converts to, I believe, about 86, 87.
A wise guy in every booth.
Probably one of the quickest water breaks I've seen in the league so far, but we're back in action. Throw in here for Fort Wayne FC. They keep trying to play a Jago, but Arte for King's Hammer is on his back pretty tightly, and I think they'd probably do better to try to play a Jago into his feet rather than trying to play him in the air of some sort, because although Jago's a tall presence himself, 6'3", 6'4", when you've got a big defender on him, probably not the best idea to try to play it in the air. King's Hammer trying to switch the ball, but goes over the top. The teammate they're looking for now, Fort Wayne FC on the ball. Here's Edadonkun. Casas. A little confusion from Edadonkun and Casas, and the ball is given away to King's Hammer. And a trip from Will Harris, and it's a penalty for King's Hammer in the 26th minute.
Yeah, Really started up top here, didn't it, with that confusion, and defenders just weren't able to recover. Put Will Harris in a really awkward position there and made kind of a tough play, and King's Hammer gets the whistle.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily a malicious tackle by any means from Harris,
Nah,
but
I think just got put into a bad position and kind of caught on his back foot. Has to overcompensate. See if Joe Bowles can come up big. He's
done it before.
He pulled us close and kept us close quite often last season. So see if Joe can come up with a big save here.
Can't quite see who's taking the penalty for King's Hammer. I believe it's Marcelo Jones. And he slots it home for King's Hammer to put them up 1-0 here in the 27th minute. Score is Fort Wayne FC 0, King's Hammer 1.
Yeah, that's just a bit unfortunate, isn't it, that they got caught off a little bit, and good attack from King's Hammer, playing the ball direct and quickly forward, taking full advantage of that momentary confusion among the Fort Wayne FC players. And it pays off. And look at this. Oh, just a bit too high.
Trying something cheeky there.
Very cheeky indeed.
As I'm helping out or checking on something else, step away for a second. My man Ken's alerted me to something a little bit cheeky.
Cheeky indeed. Just being well aware of, that stepping off his goal line and just about paid the price.
So a throw in now for King's Hammer. Abramson able to see it out. And the ref says, well, now he's changed his mind. Throw in for King's Hammer here. Frank does well to get the ball away. Here's Adedonkun. Trying to find the feet of Mwako, but it falls to Arte. The ball doesn't make it very far. Here's Claudel. Jago takes a little bit of a rough body check from the King's Hammer defender there. So it's a free kick for Fort Wayne here in a pretty dangerous position.
Yeah, let's see if they can make a dangerous opportunity here again. That last time they had from almost the same point on the opposite side here and played it to that backside and really had some good play on that ball. So see if they can recreate that. Looks like they've got lots of bodies forward on that backside again.
And while this may not be the position to do it from, you might want to be a little bit closer, but on some of these free kicks, they might benefit from a low-driven ball rather than something floated that King's Hammer defenders can try to latch onto because they're quite a big squad as well.
Well, and anytime you get it, drive it into that goal area, it's going to be...
Kenyane delivers. Sort of bobbling around the box, but Arte clears it away.
Just missing that final touch there from Fort Wayne.
Yeah. Abramson able to pick up the ball, trying to play it through to Mwako. And the
Just
ball
a bit
played
too much.
Just a bit too much. The referees. Oh, we got a player. That's what's going on. We got a player down for King's Hammer. Can't quite see
Looks
who
like
it
he might be
is.
holding his groin, maybe a little muscle pull or...
think it's Ethan Garvey. Nope, excuse me. Number 9. You got a number 9 on your roster?
Sam Robinson.
Sam Robinson.
Yep.
Ball's away here. Here's Casas. Over to Sprout.
Yeah, Robinson still kind of grabbing his section. Wonder if he didn't tweak something there. And boy, once you do that, it's hard to get back full steam.
Here's Casas still on the ball. Over to McAleenan, playing 1-2. Back and forth, doing well there to retain possession. Here's Kenyane. Casas trying to find McAleenan. Pretty high tackle from Casas there. He did go in studs up, but fortunately for him, he didn't get a hold of anybody on that slide tackle. Ball played over top. Trying to find King's Hammer, and they do. Abramson does well to get in front of the first ball, and Bowles does well to collect the cross.
Solid handling there from Joe Bowles. No questions asked.
And he seems to be well recovered from whatever ailed him earlier on in the match. Here's Casas. And the King's Hammer midfield certainly not giving Casas an inch to work with. They're on his back nearly every time he touches the ball. But that's certainly not a player you want to have free space in the middle, Pep Casas, because he can do some pretty incredible things. Harris plays the switch out to Claudel. Settles it well. Looked like he was looking for a shot there on his
Yeah,
left
it looked
foot.
like he even had a lane, too. He could have taken one more touch and unleashed.
Here's Emawako. Shot away. It's a goal kick for King's Hammer. Emawako did well there to find space there at the top of the box. He did that a couple times last year on his goals.
Indeed he did,
That quick change of pace to create separation from the defender. Unfortunately, the pass goes wide, or the shot goes wide, and it's a goal kick.
We can leave it off for a few minutes.
I'm going to throw in here for Fort Wayne FC. McAleenan resets things here, plays it back to Bowles. Good little play there from Sprout and Casas. Find Abramson. Here's Kenyane. Edadonkun with the shot. Goalkeeper spills it, and Emawako pulls the rebound wide. Both players, I think, are going to be regretting that opportunity
I think so.
there.
And, I think it's time for Fort Wayne to start doing a little bit more of that direct attack. They've been kind of trying to slide it in and get that final touch, but maybe just time to go and
put them under
create
pressure.
Put some pressure and create some chaos and see what can happen there. That was definitely a great opportunity.
So Abramson standing over the ball for the corner kick. Ball into the near post. Smith clears it away. Emawako deflected off of Sprout. And it's a goal kick for King's Hammer. Excuse me, there wasn't Emawako on the bicycle kick. That was, let me find the number here, Michael Edadonkun trying something, and Sprout almost in the right place at the right
Ask
time.
and you shall receive. We said create a little chaos, and there we had it, right?
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
It's an adventure.
Here's Claudel. Something to note from last year that the team wanted to accomplish was attacking
Some
fullbacks.
nice one-touch play there.
Here's Emawako over to Adedonkun, doing well to retain possession. Abramson, Casas. Kenyane trying to play Adedonkun there, but as I was saying, the team really wanted attacking outside backs, attacking fullbacks, and it looks like that's what they're getting this year out of right now, Claudel and Kenyane, two attacking fullbacks who are pushing high up the field, trying to create attack and put teams under pressure high up.
And it's been a real nice balanced attack as well, playing both flanks, and they're getting some good space and spreading out, and again, it's been a real good balance. So hopefully they can hit some pay dirt.
Good ball over
Yeah,
top
looked like
from
he was
Harris,
offside.
but
Yep, sure enough. See if they can get the equalizer here before the halftime whistle.
Claudel probably could have held his run for a second or two longer because neither defender was looking at him. He was in a good spot off the shoulder of the King's Hammer defender, but got a little too excited to get on the end of that ball. Imawako able to bring the ball down. Out to Claudel. Adedonkun playing a switch to Kenyane. Kenyane just misses it.
Boy, I almost wonder if this turf on this side of the field is a little bit slick. That's about the fourth ball that slid right past him, isn't it?
Is that the excuse we're making, Ken?
That would be the excuse. If that were me on that position, that would
That's
be
certainly the excuse I would be making,
my
too.
goodness, yeah, but
If I have to run after that type of ball, yeah, that's the excuse I'm making, too. Anything, sun's in my eyes, dogs are barking, anything to take the blame off myself.
that's at this point in my career, that's what we call the 10-year ball. 10 years ago, I could have got that one.
Exactly.
Nice little touch.
Casas able to get Fort Wayne FC a throw-in. Jago not able to settle the ball. He comes out to the King's Hammer players, plays it over top, but Bowles, he's on it and collects it.
And good steady presence from Joe Bowles, calming everything down, collects it cleanly. That goes a long way in being able to build your attack back forward.
Harris trying to play the switch to Abramson, but not the best ball in the world. Bowles comes out to try to get it, but King's Hammer player is first to it, but he kicks it out for a free kick. Here's a Jago on the ball. Plays it out to Amawako. Gives himself some space, and the shot deflects off a King's Hammer defender, and it's a corner kick for Fort Wayne in the 40th minute.
And another one of those slick moves from Amayako where he created some space where maybe other players wouldn't have seen it. Created himself a good opportunity and just didn't quite catch it on the final touch.
Oh, Abramson I'm going to get it right one of these times. Delivers the corner kick. Tries to find a Jago, but he can't get over the ball and heads it out for a goal kick for King's Hammer. And Amawaka, one of the shortest people on the field, is able to win the first header, but ball finally settles out to Kenyane for Fort Wayne FC. Kicks it off King's Hammer for a throw in here. Here's Casas. Good tackle by Arte here for King's Hammer. To able to get them the ball back. Good header by Abramson here. The ref calls for a player down, and looking at everybody else, I believe it's Amawako down once again. This is the second time he's been down this match. Taking a bit of a beating, and did so last year as well, I think.
Yeah, he gets stuck in on every play. He's not the type of guy who's going to back away. So, as you pointed out, not the physically biggest guy out on the field, and
Sometimes
takes his
to the
lumps.
detriment, yeah. So the trainer there for Fort Wayne FC looks like holding perhaps the calf.
Calf or an ankle.
Yeah. And if it's hot enough for a water break, it's hot enough for muscle cramps this early in the match. We're still early in the season. These players aren't in mid-season shape right now. So no surprise if it is a muscle cramp. Amawako is up and walking around a little bit gingerly, but it's good to see. And it looks like we got a King's Hammer player down. It seems like he's signaled he's done for the day. Can't quite see who that is injured on the ground for King's Hammer right now. But it looks like 22 Louis Bulger is the player coming off. And number 2, Quinn Thompson, in to replace him. Certainly not something you want to see if you're a fan of King's Hammer, players coming off this early, but
And
hopefully just getting ready to go into halftime helps them out and not disrupting things too much.
And to that point, Max Amako was ready to go back in, and clearly whatever that issue was did not end his day.
Kenyane trying to get a hold of that ball, but his tackle is very late, and it's the first yellow card of the match for Kenyane. He's pleading his case here, but I don't think the ref's putting the yellow card back in his pocket anytime soon. So it's a yellow card for Kenyane. He's not able to talk himself out of it, and from our viewpoint, it looked like a late tackle to me.
Yeah, and I think a little embellishment here as well from Ayarate.
But certainly, as with most of the cases, not something that's malicious from Kenyane. I think that second touch got away from him and he was just trying to reach for it, but the King's Hammer player able to get to it first. And I apologize, the injured King's Hammer player, that is Daniel Ayarte. the large center back, number 3, Ethan Garvey. 8 and 3 look the same on my paper, so we might need to get some more ink in the printer next door.
Unfortunately, as we approach halftime here, Fort Wayne FC just not able to capitalize on the several minutes of pressure they had in front of the Kings Hammer goal.
Referee holds up the board. 4 extra minutes here in the first half. We had quite a few. We've had quite a few players down for what seems to be rough knocks and this and that, but most of them bouncing back up. Here's Abramson on the ball, working his way through, and he gets tripped up by a Kings Hammer player, and it's a free kick in the 46th minute. And it looks like we've got Abramson and Kenyane standing over the ball. Abramson delivers, trying to find Harris back post. But Ethan Garvey able to head it away. Looks like a foul called against Fort
Not quite
Wayne.
sure what that was even supposed to be. Kind of unlike earlier free kick opportunities, they didn't have everybody consolidated. That back post kind of strung out along the top of the 18 box, and almost a wasted ball. Not a whole lot going on there.
The kicks away, and ref calls another foul against Harris. Maybe the reasoning a little over the back there from Harris, I think is what the referee is seeing, but Harris is saying that the Kings Hammer player backed into him, and that's why he was reaching, quote unquote, looked like he was reaching over because he was trying to stand his ground. But Kings Hammer player's up, and it's a free kick for them here in the 47th minute.
Yeah, to Will Harris' defense, I would agree. You gotta give everyone equal opportunity to make a play on the ball.
Free kicks delivered, trying to find Kings Hammer player, and it does. Bowles not able to get to the ball, but goes out anyway, and Sproat able to clear it away. And the Kings Hammer player receiving a yellow card here late in the first half for hooking a Jago. Trying to get a read on who that was. I think it was number 18. Yep, there he goes. Finally turns around. Number 18, Marcelo Jones received the yellow card for Kings Hammer. And he probably didn't need to do that either, because Ajago still had one defender he needed to try to beat after he tried to bring that ball down. So a little bit of a silly foul resulted in a yellow card for him.
Once again, I'm not sure I understand the Fort Wayne tactic here. They're almost in a straight line across the top of the box, and not a whole lot going on there.
So that's the first half here at Shields Field. Fort Wayne FC trails Kings Hammer FC by a score of 1-0. A penalty kick from Kings Hammer secures the first half lead. So we are going to be right back here at Shields Field. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to come back with halftime highlights sponsored by ProFed. We're going to hope to have those up here shortly, but we're going to take a quick break. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll be right back with those halftime highlights sponsored by ProFed. Okay, I have to. And welcome back to the Fort Wayne FC halftime show. If you missed it earlier, I'm play-by-play announcer Caleb Taylor, joining me once again this year, Ken Hartgardner. Ken, good afternoon.
Great to be here.
Talk to me about the first half. What did you think of the first half from both teams?
You know what? After the first few shaky moments in the back, Fort Wayne settled in the back and probably on par had the better chances overall. I thought, once the ball got to the foot of Pep Cassis and, as he was able to get it up through Amako or Ajago, created some really good individual chances there, I thought.
Yeah, certainly so. So let's go ahead and go to the highlights here of the first half. First thing you're going to see is a free kick here from... led to a goal. I mean, it's not something you want to see, but sometimes it happens.
It's absolutely. And Kings Hammer really didn't have a whole lot of forward play after that moment. So, of course, the old adage, they don't need any more goals at this point, right? They keep a 0 on Fort Wayne's side.
Exactly.
They come away with the win. So, hopefully, as I say, that we can get the ball onto the feet of Amaako and Ajago. They've both been really dangerous. Max in particular, right, creating some of those spaces and lanes to go to goal. So hopefully we can equalize here early on and play through and come back with the victory once again.
All right, so let's go ahead and go down to the field for the second half here at Shields Field. Teams are just starting to come out here.
Waiting to see if there have been any changes in lineup since the end of that first half. We've not been alerted or notified of any of those just yet. Kings Hammer did make the injury substitution just before halftime, so.
On 11.
It's at 48-49.
At halftime?
I already had it at half.
Okay. And then kickoff?
At
45. Add kickoff.
Okay.
And that
So
should
start, yeah.
Yep, that should start the clock there. Okay. And I'm trying to fix our audio issue. Apparently we're having audio problems.
Hey, cameras, you're doing good.
right, and the officials are making their way back onto the pitch. Fort Wayne with the second half kickoff here.
And as last year, those of you watching the live stream, please let us know whether we're having issues or not. I'm trying to monitor it the best I can. Our issues seem to be a lot of audio issues at this point. But at least you've got game to watch, if not to hear our angelic voices, Ken.
And here we go as the second half gets started off. Long floating ball in, headed away for a Fort Wayne throw in. Nice ball work from Pep Casas. And a clear for another Fort Wayne throw in. Kind of a errant ball there going through the midfield. And again, the Fort Wayne defense caught flat-footed out of position and have to resort to the foul. So that foul results in a yellow card to Abramson. And not a real good position if you're a Fort Wayne FC defender. They allow for the restart here just outside of the penalty area for King's Hammer. Lots of bodies assembled on the backside. Marcelo Jones lining up here. Boy, appeared a more dangerous ball than it ended up being. Floated right in there, and neither team able to make a play on it. Slides harmlessly over the end for a goal kick.
Yeah, so taking a cursory glance here on the field, I don't see too many substitutions for
I
either
was
team, like you
not.
mentioned,
I was
Ken.
not aware of any. So, and we didn't get an announcement. We may still have one forthcoming if we've missed it, but looks like both sides returned to the same form as the first half.
So it looks like our audio is back on our feed. Once again, if you're watching at home, please let us know if we're having issues. We try to do the best that we can. Here's Emawako. Not able to find a Jago, and King's Hammer's on the ball now. When Thompson, the substitute, trying to play the ball over to the top to Samuel Robinson. Was able to keep it in, but not able to keep possession. Fort Wayne trying to build out of the back. Looks like I'm going to say it looks like they're trying to build out of the back, but maybe a better option is trying to find an option farther forward.
Yeah, that
a lot
was
of pressure there.
Got to be a lot sharper on that ball if you're going to play in that amount of pressure. King's Hammer was locked down pretty well there, and Fort Wayne probably fortunate to get out of there.
So the touch by Kenyane, too much. King's Hammer able to break their attack. They're on the ball now. Obviously only 4 minutes into the half, but Neither team really taking a foothold. I'm not sure many inspiring speeches were said at the first half, but based on the play we've seen the first 5 minutes here.
Yeah, Fort Wayne's pretty sloppy on the ball thus far. Just already 2 or 3 totally errant balls, including that most recent one over the touchline. It's a good tackle from Abramson.
Jago able to maintain possession. Amawako and Kenyane play it back and forth to each other, but ball makes its way out for a throw in here in the 50th minute. Here's Adedonkun on the ball here, driving into the penalty box. Trying to find somebody. Claudel finally able to help out and cross it to the backside, trying to find Amawako, but that ball
Just a little too much on that.
probably overhit to do anything meaningful. It's a throw in, I believe, for King's Hammer.
Adedonkun really went right at him, and I think that's exactly what we need more of from Fort Wayne, whether it's Amawako or Jago or Adedonkun. Just run straight at him and make something happen.
So a free kick here for Fort Wayne FC. I missed what happened, but Casas insisting on taking this free kick, waves off Abramson, but he plays it short, trying to play through Adedonkun, but the ball rolls out for a goal kick for King's Hammer. Garvey plays that ball out, trying to find his teammate upfield, and this throw in for Fort Wayne here in the 52nd minute. Good work by Abramson to.
Yeah, he touched that nicely into space. That's a much better attack here on this possession from Fort Wayne. What a nice tackle.
Trying
Nice
to do
tackle.
something there, but Thompson with the tackle. King's Hammer's going the other way, and they got a man free on the back side. Sproat trying to make his way back. Bowles coming out. King's Hammer player Antonio Pineda sends the ball wide. And pretty sticky situation, not only leaving the man behind unmarked, but on that shot, both Reed Sproat and Harris were back in front of the goal mouth, so they were lucky to
Yeah,
get
Will
out
Harris.
of the shot. Get out
Will
of the way of
Harris
the
just
shot.
about became an unfortunate recipient of a touch into his own back of the net, huh?
Yeah,
But to no avail.
and we're not sure what
But,
happened there. I think
I don't
Abramson
know.
got caught up field a little bit. King's Hammer doing well to retain possession under pressure. Harris able to head the ball away, but only makes it so far to the midfield. The throw in for Fort Wayne. And I'll be interested to see if Ajago plays more than 10 minutes more or so. He's sort of been quiet.
He has not been involved much in this half yet at all. And I think certainly based on what we saw in the first half, that's not going to bode well if he's not mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah, certainly
So
not.
here we have a ball forward.
And to note as well, Ajago was the goal scorer for Fort Wayne in the first leg of these two matches on Tuesday. came into the match about the 62nd, 63rd minute or so. And pounced on a rebound. Here's Sprout. Imawako backside up there trying to sneak in. Casas.
Just not very clean touches from any of the Fort Wayne players here in that last sequence, including Pep Casas, who's typically nails on as far as his tight control of the ball at his feet. But
Yeah, it seems to me he's had a bit one too many touches in the midfield today, and it's catching Fort Wayne FC off guard. Harris trying it from long range, but sends it well over the bar. For
yeah,
a goal
sure.
kick.
It feels like the most successful attacks Fort Wayne has mounted include those quick touches, to your point, eliminating a touch or two through the midfield and getting it up into the attacking third on the foot of either Amawako or Ajago. But there's been almost none of that here in the 10 minutes since we've returned. So hopefully we can find some rhythm.
Donkun plays the ball out to Abramson here. Ball back.
Oh,
to
that's a nice
Donkun.
ball, but
Bad first touch,
Yeah.
but able to hang on to it. Here's Amawako.
got some numbers forward. And
Shots away, and it's a goal from Amawako in the 56th minute. I'm going to call it his patented ability to
absolutely.
get away from the defender, that quick change of speed to create
and
just a
playing it
little bit of space.
straight across the face of the defender. And again, we've talked about it a number of times, Caleb, just creating that little bit of space that wasn't there to begin with and taking full advantage. What a nice finish.
A nice finish, nothing fancy, just put it on frame hard and low, and he was able to get it past Smith to make things all square here at Shields Field. Fort Wayne FC 1, Kings Hammer 1 in the 57th minute.
Well, I'm sure as a goalkeeper you noticed, getting beat on that short near post.
That he's going to get a talking to.
Not sure if he was focused somewhere else and caught himself a step or two far inside or how that happened, but yeah.
Or at least I know
Amawako's
I would have
credit.
gotten a talking to, yeah.
Yeah, to Amawako's credit, he found that spot and snuck it in.
Smoke is flying from Three Rivers Regiment down there. Quite the nice, I think the crowd's filled out quite nicely. We were questioning what the numbers would be near the beginning of the game, but quite a nice turnout. It's ended up being here at Shields Field for the opening match of
Opening
the home-
day
the home-
2022.
Yeah. So Abramson does well to keep the ball in.
Very
Crosses it
nice.
in.
Oh, dangerous ball.
Garvey misses the cross, but I believe it's a Jago. He wasn't able to get on the end of it either. I think the refs are saying that Garvey touched it, so it's going to be a corner kick for Fort Wayne FC.
We'll see if Fort Wayne can hold this pressure. They've had a couple of nice chances here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. We've got some good numbers forward at this point. Again, drive the ball through. Abramson's done a nice job of that. That's, again,
Near
another nice
post.
ball.
Forces the goalkeeper to make a save. McAleenan tries to find Harris again, but Smith does well to collect it out of the air. And you mentioned it earlier, Ken. Fort Wayne seems to be doing well when they're putting Kings Hammer under direct pressure, not trying anything fancy, just going straight at them. And it seems to be more effective than most other things that they've been doing throughout the match.
Well, several players from both clubs now up and moving about as we approach 60 minutes here in this match. So maybe the substitutions we did not see at halftime maybe about to come onto the field here for both sides.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if, we get not only multiple substitutions at a time, but a water break as well, I have to imagine, is coming. If there is a water break in the first half, probably a water break in the second. Forster Jago trying to go for the ball. Kings Hammer player gets tripped up. Referee says no foul there. Fort Wayne able to retain possession. Here's Harris trying to find Adedonkun. Matched up against Garvey. Garvey's able to head it away. And Emawako able to poke it out. And that attack for Kings Hammer. And it's throw in for Kings Hammer here in the 60th minute. Kings Hammer on the attack. Fort Wayne FC player
It's like they got their feet kind of tangled. That
just able to poke it in there. That's Victor Claudel. He's on the ground. And a yellow card goes to, I believe, number 29, Gumbale. He was just getting ready to go for that shot, and Claudel stuck his foot in there and was able to poke it away at the last minute. Gumbale kicking Claudel, leading to the yellow card for Kings Hammer in the 61st minute.
You know, it's always hard to tell the seriousness of an injury based on the over-exuberance of players trying to sell it, but that did not look good.
No,
the
certainly
way his
not.
Feet got tangled, and he is sitting up, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, he's up and jogging. One of those ones that hurts in the moment, but able to get over pretty quickly. It looks like we've got some substitutions getting ready for both sides. Referee's looking at the player cards right now. Reese Allball and Taylor Dyson for Kings Hammers coming in. Not sure for who yet. Here's Harris. Fort Wayne trying to build out of the back. Plays the ball over top. Trying to find either Adedonkun or Emawako, but the ball goes out of play for a throw-in for Kings Hammer. So here's the substitutions here.
Dyson and Allball. Looks like
Allball is coming in for number 28. I believe that's not Gumbale. Antonio Pineda is coming off. Allball is replacing him.
Dyson looks like he's coming for Ayerte, huh?
I believe that's who it is. Number 8, yep. So 2 substitutions for Kings Hammer here. Ayerte and Pineda off. Allball and Dyson on.
Ayerte's had a good, solid match for Kings Hammer. Stopped quite a few of the Fort Wayne attacks.
Yeah, he did well to put pressure on the likes of Casas and Adedonkun in the midfield there. I'm not sure if he is wore out or unhappy that he got substituted, but looks a little dejected there on the sideline. So he might not be a little happy that he's been substituted. But if
no
you're
matter
a
how
competitor,
you feel, that's exactly right. You never want to come off the pitch prior to that final whistle.
So throw in for Fort Wayne FC here. Ajago just offsides for Fort Wayne. Here's Garvey going on a little trip, just trying to bulldoze his way through there. Didn't work. It's a throw in for Fort Wayne FC. Garvey able to kick it away again. Another throw in for Fort Wayne. Sprode able to head it back to Bowles. Plays it back out to him. Doing well to play quickly out of the back. Trying to find a Jago there, Sproat, but ball's off target and rolls to Smith for King's Hammer. And we've got 2 Fort Wayne FC players on the bench, Nkosi Graham, number 14, and Alexandru Frank, number 7, just taking off their training tops. And it looks like they're getting ready to go in as the first substitutions for Fort Wayne FC of the match. King's Hammer on the attack. Doing well to shield off Abramson.
Gambali's been pretty dangerous in his own right throughout the afternoon here.
Certainly so. Oliver hauled on the side there with him, trying to help him out. Ref says a free kick foul against Abramson. So it's a free kick for King's Hammer.
And they've been pretty dangerous on these as well. From that flank, they served the ball across nicely and put it in that dangerous area. And lots of bodies forward, so
lots of tall bodies forward.
Hopefully Fort Wayne can stay solid on defense here and not give away anything.
Free kicks in, sending it to the near post. I was going to say the Fort Wayne FC players might want to watch just that half of the goal, but I certainly didn't expect a quick free kick shot on goal from King's Hammer there.
Yeah, and with Joe Bowles in there, I think that probably looked a little more dangerous than it actually was, but you never know.
Yep.
Case in point with Chad Smith earlier in the King's Hammer goal, right? He just a step or so out of position and gave up that near post.
So here's Victor Claudel, across in. King's Hammer able to head it away. The ball makes its way upfield. Sproat does well to
very nice slide
win
tackle there.
Possession back. Here's Casas. Back out to Claudel. And it's a corner kick for Fort Wayne. A nice little exchange there. Started by Sproat winning that ball at around midfield. And just as you mentioned, Smith coming off his line for that one goal, he was caught off his line for a second there, and I thought Ajago was going to turn and shoot because Smith was well out of position, but Fort Wayne trying to build something there.
Yeah, when they push it quickly like that, to your point earlier, playing a little more direct forward, some dangerous opportunities created. So here we are, second half water break, giving the players a chance to catch their breath and rehydrate slightly on a warm Sunday afternoon here at Shields Field. All knotted up at 1 in the 69th minute of play here this afternoon. So see if Fort Wayne can mount on a successful attack, get that game winner.
And I'll be interested to see. I don't know if we're going to have too many more water breaks this season. Most of our matches here at home are 7 p.m.
Evening games.
Evening games, so should be on the cooler end of the day. But, that's the meteorologist in me is saying that I'll be interested to see whether we'll have hot evenings or not this summer. It is the summer in Indiana, so can't count it out. Could get snow in June. Could. It's happened. It's happened once.
Well, and as you mentioned earlier, that turf does retain some of that heat. And, if I'm not mistaken, here we were early May, about 78 degrees the other evening as we were outside in our backyard, about 8:15. So
Yeah.
never say never.
Never say never. Exactly.
Clouds kind of gathering here this afternoon, but I don't think there's any fear of any inclement weather before we finish up the match this afternoon, so that's good.
Last I forecasted storms maybe this evening, but we should be well and clear of the 90-minute mark before that happens.
So, going to be Fort Wayne FC corner kick to get us started back up here.
So Max Emawako off, Alexandra Frank on, and Nkosi Graham replaces Victor Claudel for Fort Wayne FC. So Emawako and Claudel off, Nkosi Graham and Frank on. I believe it's Kenyane standing over the corner kick here. Certainly would be looking for Will Harris here.
Not sure what the holdup is there in the center. Center official talking to several of the guys. Some extracurricular.
So the ball's in.
Oh, nice, dangerous ball.
Dangerous ball. Goalkeeper does well to just put a hand on it to make it a little less dangerous for King's Hammer. And Abramson not messing about. Just kicks it out. Lets his players reset, and it's throw in for Fort Wayne FC here in the 72nd minute.
All ball, that's something that's not going to get a whole lot of notice, but made a full-speed run for about 40 yards there to put that pressure on Abramson so that they couldn't just dump it right back in the zone. So good for him, that extra effort. Still has all his energy just recently put into the game.
King's Hammer moving just a little bit quicker now. Ball played over top. And it's a goal for King's Hammer. Number 9.
Robinson, isn't it?
Yes, Samuel Robinson. He did well to bring that ball down and beat Harris simultaneously.
No, he really did adjust his body weight just right as the ball was floating over the top, and
it was a good ball.
Collected it at a nice angle, and
so King's Hammer takes the lead here in the 73rd minute. From a goal from Samuel Robinson. And just like Fort Wayne would want to do, that all started from quick attacking play. Nothing fancy, just nice and direct and quick and catching Fort Wayne off guard.
And giving Robinson all the credit there. He played it nicely.
Oh, Adodonkun pulls the shot wide.
Would have been a nice equalizer immediately, wouldn't it?
Back to back, yeah. That would have been nice to take out some of the sting of that second goal from King's Hammer. You know, it felt that the tides were turning a bit after that Fort Wayne FC goal, that they were maybe a little bit more ahead, but certainly doesn't seem that way anymore. A bit of the wind was taken out of the Fort Wayne FC sails. Here's Gumbale with Hald overlapping. Thompson. Hald. Finds his teammate. Deflected off of, I believe that was Sproat, and it looked like it was just going wide, but Bull's not taking any chances, and I certainly can't blame him for not taking a chance on
that's for sure
keeping it out of his net. So corner kick for King's Hammer here in the 75th minute. Marcelo Jones, I believe, is the one standing over the corner kick right now. And a nice corner to the backside, but just a bit high, and it's a goal kick for Fort Wayne FC. Interesting to see, and I don't know if it's the legs getting a bit tired at this point or maybe a bit of strategy. It looks like McAleenan for Fort Wayne is just starting to sit a little bit deeper in front of those center backs. Perhaps to provide some defensive support, or he might just be getting a little bit tired, which certainly wouldn't blame him. It's been hard work this afternoon in this heat. But Harrison Sproat seemed to be getting pulled out of position a little bit more and more as we get into the dying minutes of the match. So perhaps McAleenan is recognizing that and just trying to sit a little bit deeper to fill that space. Kasash pushed over by Kumbale, and it's a free kick here in the 77th minute. Trying to find a Jago once again, but Garvey, 6'7" presence there for King's Hammer, able to get to it first. When you're 6'7", no surprise you're getting to the aerial battles first. Referee calls a foul against Fort Wayne and a free kick for King's Hammer. Chad Smith for King's Hammer making an interesting choice there, trying to head that ball clear, almost sweeper keeper style, when he had defenders in front of him. So I'm not sure if he wasn't trusting his defenders there or what, but an interesting choice nonetheless. Here's Adedonkun. Turns over the ball for King's Hammer. Trying to find Robinson again, but Bowles out to collect it. Abramson looking around, trying to find somebody. Fort Wayne front line, and some of the midfielders as well, not doing a whole lot of movement at this point. And Garvey sends that ball out to North Clinton Street.
And it's still rolling.
And it's still rolling. And it's in the ditch. And it's staying on the ditch, so chalk one up to the environment. We'll send that one out to the world. Casas on the ball. Finds Sproat. Abramson.
Well, that's a nice ball through. Oh,
Finds the feet of a Jago,
errant
and
touch.
another errant touch from a Jago. I think, obviously, Coach Mike Avery paid to make the big decisions, but in my opinion, Ajago has been pretty ineffective all afternoon. I would, at this point, try to make something happen if
Certainly in the second
substitution.
half.
Yeah, if a substitution is needed, that's who I would substitute. Throw in for Fort Wayne. Here in the 80th minute. Ajago trying to find Frank. The ball is cleared all the way back to Harris. Fort Wayne will restart the attack. Alex Frank plays a good ball to Ajago. Here's Adedonkun. Makalinen plays a
What a
nice
nice ball
ball
through.
to Kenyane, who tries to play it one time. Probably didn't need to play it one time. The ball beat his defender, and he had at least a second or two to take a little bit more space. Maybe he saw something that we didn't see, but either way, Fort Wayne back on the attack. Maybe not in the position they'd like to be, but here's Ajago. Plays it back to Adedonkun. Abramson. That third or fourth touch from Abramson.
Yeah,
just a
just
little
not
bit
much there. There was just not much there.
And with Huld closing down for King's Hammer.
Almost thought Ajago had opportunity to take that defender on there, but chose to play it back. Looks like we got some more substitutions coming on for King's Hammer.
So number 16 for King's Hammer
Ben
coming
Hagee.
on. Ben Hagee or Haig? Not entirely sure. Coming on for Marcelo Jones. And number 17, Mikkel Goling coming in for, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, came off not near the center line. We'll get a look at the number here in a moment. Fort Wayne a little
Gumbali,
bit.
is it?
Yeah, that looks like Gumbale. A foul against Fort Wayne FC here in the 82nd minute. King's Hammer with the free kick.
I didn't see.
Ball played over top. Ends up just bobbling around there for a minute, trying to gain possession of it. Foul against King's Hammer. Joe Bowles. Gonna play it long. Trying to find Graham. Ball falls to Ajago. Casas just needed a little bit more pace on that pass. Turns it over once again to King's Hammer. They're up and away. The ball just played in
skids
front.
out.
And maybe that's the curse. The curse of the turf is that a ball that would be you'd be able to get to normally rolls just a little bit too fast, and that's been the case for both teams this afternoon. Alex Frank's
A little
trying
bit
to
too big a touch there.
retain possession. Turns it over. Thompson for King's Hammer. Plays the cross in. Sprout not messing about. It's going to be a corner kick for King's Hammer in the 84th minute.
This ball goes out onto Washington Center. I got all the crossroads covered here this afternoon.
Well, if I know that road, that ball should make its way back to us. Roll down the street to us here soon. So here's the corner kick from King's Hammer. Tried to drive it in well over everybody's head, but Garvey able to get on the end of it. Adedonkun does well to put pressure on them, but still results in a goal kick for Fort Wayne. Assistant coach James Prosser for Fort Wayne FC just hollered over at Cale Nichols to put his jersey on So a substitution's coming, but not before the shot from King's Hammer here. Joe Bowles does well to parry it away for a corner kick here in the 85th minute.
Well covered by Joe Bowles. However, kind of concerning how much space that defensive line allowed on that attack.
Yeah, and
straight down the middle.
And I'm not sure if that's a result of the defenders or perhaps the two center mids, I believe McAleenan and Frank, just being pulled out of position. But either way, a lot of space right there in the middle. So another driven cross, trying to find Garvey. Garvey gets his head to it. Sproat gets his head to it as well. Excuse me, Harris gets his head to it. But it only falls as far as Thompson. King's Hammer still retain possession. It's going to be a throw-in for them. Bowles collects that ball. Plays it quickly out to Adedonkun, who's not able to settle it. And it's going to be a throw-in for Fort Wayne. So Cale Nichols is coming on for Fort Wayne FC. Coming off is Adam McAleenan. Nichols listed as a forward on the roster, but we'll see if see if he can get on the end of any of the attacks here and maybe put in a second goal for Fort Wayne FC here in the dying minutes of the match. Here's Abramson trying to find Kenyane, or excuse me, Adedonkun. The ball falls to Nichols. Trying to do something with four defenders in front of him. He's able to at least maintain possession. Here's Graham. Graham trying a bit of fancy footwork. Ball falls to Kenyane. Makes its way back. Abramson a bit out of position. I think Reed wanted him to be that wide option. A foul against King's Hammer here, and the referee reaching for his pocket. Yellow card on the foul against Pep Casas. I'm not sure we're going to get a number here. He's pretty far away. I think eventually he'll turn around. 33 for King's Hammer, Reese Allball. The perpetrator on that foul. And it feels like a rare attack opportunity for Fort Wayne FC. Not seen a lot of those in the past 5-10 minutes. I believe Kenyane is the one standing over the ball. Although it's hard to see the numbers from here. Lofted in, trying to find Harris. Says it did find Harris, but it went out for a goal kick. That was Adedonkun who delivered that free kick.
Just not clear to me what Fort Wayne FC is trying to do, although they've had quite a number of those restarts from just outside the flanks, and those balls just kind of harmlessly floating through. And
yep. And the ref was trying to play advantage there for Fort Wayne FC, but nothing coming of it. Foul against King's Hammer here in the 89th minute.
To the point here on that flank again, a little further out this time, but let's see if they can mount any more dangerous attack here than previous attempts.
Ball delivered in by Abramson. Delivered directly to Garvey for King's Hammer, but it's a throw-in for Fort Wayne down in the attacking third here in the 90th minute. Aradonkun lining up for a long throw. Dangerous throw in. Kosi Graham gets on the end of it. The ref had his back turned, but one of the Kings Hammer players ducked as a Fort Wayne FC player tried to jump for that header and spilled over him, but he's back up quickly. Not sure that would have been called a foul or not, but either way, Kings Hammer retained possession here in the 90th minute. The referee getting ready to put up the board.
4 minutes.
Another 4 minutes of stoppage time. Foul against Franck. Alex Franck, one of the two former professional players on this team. He played in the NISA League, which, according to USSF, is the third part of the third tier. So played professional last year for Michigan Stars, but decided to make the change over to Fort Wayne FC this year. And the free kick was long, wide, to nobody. And it's a goal kick for Fort Wayne FC. Fort Wayne's away quickly, trying to make something happen. Kenyane on his horse, trying to get to that long ball. It's going to be a throw-in for Fort Wayne here in the dying minutes. Finds a Jago. Able to retain
good
possession.
Pressure, yeah, good pressure there.
Here's Casas. Back to Kenyane. Casas, unfortunately, gives that ball away. Another throw-in for Fort Wayne. Probably trying to pick up the pace a little too late in the game. At this point, this is an urgency we probably should have seen 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly right. Good to see now, but a little
Here's a
late
Jago.
coming. Oh,
And we'll see what the referee says. And he calls a foul against a Jago for embellishment. Says he was diving and gave a yellow card to the Fort Wayne FC player. Hard to see from here.
Very interesting call.
Whether there was a foot stuck in or not. Referee certainly had the better vantage point than we do. So it's a yellow card here in the 92nd minute for a Jago.
well, and as we wind down the final minute or two here, Caleb, maybe not too soon to talk about our next event here at Shields Field on the 25th.
Yes.
As the
May
Indy 11
25th.
make the trip north from Indianapolis.
Yeah, that'll be a fun match to see. Fort Wayne FC players crowding Kings Hammers players down in the field. That actually ends up going towards goal. Joe Bowles comes out and is able to get a foot onto it for what will probably be, I have to imagine, one of the final kicks of the match for this corner kick for Kings Hammer.
Well, it's Robinson in there again. And boy, he's had a pretty productive 20 minutes here in the last, since the goal he scored.
Goaling was standing over the corner kick. They play it short, trying to retain possession. Ref on the far sideline calls a foul, but center
Playing
man
advantage and
plays
a good
advantage.
attack here for Fort Wayne. Maybe.
So Alex Frank trying to call for a foul against Kings Hammer there. Kenyane with the throw, trying to find somebody. Here's Casas. I believe that's Aradonkun. Plays a good ball out to Abramson, who's just
Tough
not
one to
able.
bring in. Yeah, tough one to bring in.
Abramson lining up for a long throw. Comes out to Casas. Frank plays it over to Kenyane, who plays it back to Casas, who's trying to
weave
Shift
his
his
way
way
through.
through, yeah.
Just too many bodies.
Here comes a long throw from Kenyane. Trying to find Harris. Falls to Frank.
Oh,
Frank not able to put his foot through it. And the referee calls for full time here at Shields Field. Fort Wayne FC 1, Kings Hammer 2. The series tied 1-1. And I believe 3 matchups between the two sides this season. Certainly not the outing Fort Wayne FC fans wanted to see for the home opener this season. A little bit reminiscent of last year's home opener, but nonetheless, building a team is never easy, and especially in the beginning of the season, you're gonna do what you can do, but some things are just out of your control.
yep. And you know what? Lots of good things happened this afternoon. A lot to build on here, but plenty to clean up as well. Some sloppy, errant balls and long touches, but nonetheless, here we are.
So, as Ken mentioned, our next match here at Shields Field Stadium, May 25th, against the Indy 11 Academy. This Academy team has won multiple championships in the past 6 months to a year. So this is certainly going to be a good matchup here at Shields Field. May 25th. Don't quote me on the time. I think 7 p.m.?
7 p.m., I believe, yes.
Yeah, I know we've got a couple 5:30s in there this year, but make sure to get your tickets if you're able to come out to the match on fortwaynefc.com/tickets. We'll also be live streaming the match, so make sure to watch out for the link on social media. That's going to do it for us for now. Make sure to watch us next time, May 25th at Shields Field Stadium, Fort Wayne FC against Indy 11. I'm Caleb Saylor, your play-by-play commentator. Joining me this afternoon, Ken Harkenreiter. Ken, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you the next time.